We're on, Judge.
Yes, sir. And who do we have first? Who was who was here first, Mr. Marufo?
On page 1, Judge. Top of page 1.
Okay, Mr. Roberts with Mr. Victor Aguilar.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Eric, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Marufo, you want me to call the case or you want to do it?
I'll call it, Judge.
Go ahead.
In cause number 2020-0D02701, State of Texas versus Victor Aguilar. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Raga on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Okay.
Charles Roberts for the defense. We're ready, Your Honor.
All right. My understanding is we are set for the final hearing and the plea deadline. So I believe I don't need to ask the state a question. I believe my question goes to defense. Mr. Roberts, what are we doing with this case?
It's going to be a trial, but I have filed a motion for continuance based on my vacation certificate this month.
Mhm. When are you currently set for trial? I'm showing what, 7/14?
Your
Yes.
Honor, may I jump in? We sent over a dismissal yesterday. We spoke with the victim last week again. Yesterday, she did not want to proceed. We can't make the case without her, Your Honor. So this dismissal has been sent over.
Okay. All right, Mr. Roberts, it seems like that has taken care of your case and your
That's
motion
a-
to continue. I will hard copy sign the dismissal later today. Okay.
Okay, now,
Mhm.
the other is Richard Hall.
You have two cases. Give me a second.
Yes.
Let me look for Mr. Hall.
He's on page 4, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Roberts, that one's not set till 9. I don't know if the prosecutor handling Mr. Hall is available. Ms. Rago, is that going to be you?
That's me, Your Honor.
Okay, do you want to take care of that now? And
Yes, Your Honor. And then if possible, if we can jump to Mr. Minez, there was kind of a co-defendant, and that was Julian Lopez, and we can resolve those together. Those will be fast, Your Honor.
is Lopez a co-defendant to Hall or Lopez a co-defendant to Aguilar?
To Aguilar, it's the
Aguilar.
same victim, and the same a dismissal was sent over, Your Honor.
Okay, so then let's
Yesterday.
just go ahead and call that case with attorney Mr. Minez. You said last name of Lopez.
On top of page 5, Judge.
Okay, go ahead and let's call that case.
In cause number 2020-0D02702, State of Texas versus Julian Lopez. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Raga on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Omar Mani for the defendant, Julian Lopez, we're ready.
Good morning. Ms. Rago, do you have an announcement in regards to this case?
Yes, Your Honor. The state sent over a dismissal yesterday. We spoke with the complaining witness last week. Again, on yesterday, she did not want to proceed, and unfortunately, we cannot make the case without the CW.
All right, Mr. Minez, I will be hard copying, signing that dismissal later this afternoon, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So at this point, Mr. Minez, unless you have anything further, you are dismissed from this morning.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, resuming with Mr. Roberts so we can take care of Mr. Hall. I know we're bouncing around a little bit more than we all expected. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and call Mr. Hall's case, Mr. Marufo.
In cause number 2020-0D04880, State of Texas versus Richard Jesse Hall. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Raga on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Charles Roberts for the defense. We're ready.
Okay. This case may have been referred to Judge Alcala. Let me pull up this case. Give me 1 second.
I believe so, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Well,
Did you,
we have filed a motion for continuance based on the same thing. It's during my vacation this July.
but I don't know if Judge Alcohol, I'm sorry. If Judge Alcala has let me make decisions on his case. I know obviously Judge Alyssa Garcia Perez has. Ms. Hernandez, has Judge Alcala stated that I could make decisions on his case?
I don't have any information on that, Judge.
Yeah, neither do I. Let me, You know what, Mr. Roberts, let me have Ms. Hernandez try to reach out to Judge Alcala. Because I think this
Yes.
may have been referred to the referring court. There's a new court that's been set up. And I think it might have been sent over there.
My motion or
The case may have been sent. It's
the case, I got 2 days after we filed the motion for continuance, I got some sort of notice that it had been transferred.
Okay. Yeah, so it's going to be to the referring court, which is going to be Judge Alcala. I need to know whether or not he's going to let me make a decision for him. I need to receive direction from him. So Ms. Hernandez, do you think you're able to reach him?
Judge, I'll speak to the coordinator, who is Lizette Rodriguez, and find out if he's available.
Okay.
I'll get an answer for you as quickly as possible.
So Mr. Roberts, we're going to go ahead and go off the record on your case for a little bit. We'll try to come back as soon as we know an answer, okay?
Okay, and
All right.
I don't need to refile another motion in his court, do I?
No. The motions are going with the case. It's just whether or not Judge Alcala is okay with me making a decision for his case. I'm an associate judge, and so I need to get the direction from the judge. So I can't step on Judge Alcala's case. I need
I
to make sure.
understand.
Okay, so let me put you on hold. We're going to get off the
Yeah.
record on this case, and we'll come back to you as soon as Ms. Hernandez knows what Judge Alcala would prefer. All right?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Roberts. All right,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Marufo, who's next?
Back on page 1, Judge. the
Okay, let's
second
go.
one.
Mhm.
Because number 2020-0D03418, State of Texas versus Angel Alvarez. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
I saw Mr. Minus come back.
I asked him if he had anything else. Did he come back? There he is. Mr. Minus, can you go ahead and turn on your camera? Mr. Minus, can you turn on your camera?
Oh,
There
I'm
you are.
sorry.
You did have something else then, huh, Mr. Minus?
Yes, Angela Alvarez, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead and make your announcement for the record, and then we'll proceed with where we're at with this case.
It's all my minds for Angela Alvarez. You know, we're ready.
All right, we're set for a final hearing plea deadline. Ms. Rago, do you have any thing that you want to state before I turn to Mr. Minus?
Yes, Your Honor. My understanding it was BIP for dismissal. And the defendant was currently working on BIP.
Now with this and the certificate and the agreement was, the offer was that if he completed the BIP, the case will be dismissed, and we have already submitted a certificate to the court.
Did you send that?
About a month ago with Your Honor. Let me find out.
Okay, Ms. Rago, did you ever receive the copy of the certificate of completion of BIP?
I haven't, Your Honor. I just recently got moved as well, so it may have been lost in translation. Mr. Minez, if you can send it to me and I'll get the dismissal over to you.
Let me give you this.
Your Honor, if I may, I have not received.
Let me see. It was sent to. Oh, it's filed in the case.
Let me look up the case. Give me 1 second.
I can give you
It was filed on May 25th.
Okay, let me look.
Francisco Macias.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Frank, your audio is on in case you want to turn it off, Mr. Frank Macias. Thank you.
You want us to mute?
Yes, please, your phone call, we could hear it.
Your Honor, I don't see it
Neither do I.
on court files.
Neither do I. Was it filed in the correct cause number 3418, Mr. Minus?
You're muted, Mr. Menace.
Um, apparently they filed it without a cover page, Your Honor. It doesn't have a case number, so I guess I'll just file it with a cover page. It was filed. I'll refile it and send it to
No,
Mr. Rago.
You don't even need
Okay,
to
thank you.
go through the refiling. If you'll just email that this morning.
I'll do it right now.
Okay, Ms. Rago, do you want to say your email or send it on the chat to him directly?
I can send it on the chat, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, so go ahead and send it to the chat. Mr. Minus, if you'll go ahead and email that to Ms. Rago, and Ms. Rago can get me a dismissal by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then Ms. Rago, also in that email, go ahead and include any phone or extension. So in case you don't receive it, you can have communication with him.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll be
All right.
out in the next few minutes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Minus. Now with that, do you have anything further, Mr. Minus?
I'm sure I don't, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Okay, then I am going to excuse you for the
Okay.
day then. All right. Take care, Mr. Minus. All right. Next, Mr. Marufo.
On page 3, Judge, top of page 3,
Okay.
in cause number 2021-0D02927, State of Texas versus Tyrone Michael Carter. Announcement of council, please.
Mr. Tyrone Carter also has the other cause number on the bottom of page 2, Mr. Marufo. So if you'll call that one also.
Apologize, Judge. In cause number, and also in cause number 2020-0D05856, State of Texas versus Tyrone Carter. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Raug on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Gerald Georges for Mr. Carter, present, ready to proceed.
All right. Mr. Georges, I'm showing that we're set for a final hearing / plea deadline. Let me ask Ms. Rago if she has any announcements before I turn to you.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Georges, what are we doing with these two cases?
Well, right now, we're intending to try them, okay? We may be able to work something out. I mean, Ms. Rago and I were talking about something that may work out.
Well, are you talking about something that may work out and you just need a little more time, or you want me to go ahead and continue with your jury trial setting? Because you currently set for 7/14 and 7/15. You're set at the end of this week.
If it would be okay with everybody, we'd like to have a few more days to work this out, maybe.
We're close, Your Honor.
All right. So then let me go ahead and give you 1 month seems like a little too much. Ms. Hernandez, go ahead, Mr. Georges.
A couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Ms. Hernandez, is a 3-week movement available to Mr. Georges?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we'll reset you for 3 weeks.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you. Mr. Georges, do you have anything further with the court this morning?
No, you're.
All right, then you are free to head out.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Good to see
You
you.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mr. Marufo, who's next?
Staying on page 3, Judge,
Okay,
in cause number 2020-0D03679, State of Texas versus Victoria Celaya. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Raug on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Bill Hicks on behalf of Victoria Celaya. We're present and ready to proceed.
good morning, Mr. Hicks. Good to see you. I'm showing you all are set for a final hearing plea deadline. Ms. Rago, do you have anything to state before I turn to Mr. Hicks?
Yes, Your Honor. My understanding it was classes for dismissal. And we were pending 2 clean UABAs.
All right. Mr. Hicks, where are we on the classes and the clean UAs?
Judge was correct. It was 2 UAs and an NCTI class. I emailed I don't know which ADA, we've had such a turnover, but the ADA in the court in February the 3rd, I emailed both lab reports. So the clean UAs have been done. I can email those again to Ms. Rago or whoever. The NCTI class, however, I do not have any proof of that having been done.
Is Ms. Celaya on the camera today? Is she here today?
No, Judge.
All right.
Given the information.
Did she check in with you previously, Mr. Marufo?
No, Judge.
What is her deadline for checking in with you?
It was yesterday between 9 and 12 in the morning, Judge.
Oh. Okay. Ms. Rago, does that change anything for you?
Your Honor, I'll also give the option of a 1244B as well, to try to wrap up this case.
All right. Mr. Hicks, I need your client to make contact with us. When was the last time you were able to make contact with her?
We had contact with her last week, Judge, communicated the Zoom credentials for today's call and or to contact the court.
All right. Let me, I'll go ahead and give you till the end of the day for her to reach out to Mr. Marufo. If not, then I'll have Ms. Rago come back on, and I'll entertain any motion that Ms. Rago may have at that time. Okay,
I'll email Ms. Raga in the meantime, the 2 UAs that we have.
and if you get the NCTI completion certificate, that'll take care of this, and we won't even need to reconvene with Ms. Rago. Okay.
Yeah, understood.
All right, so end of the day to reach out to Mr. Marufo, and then I'll go ahead and give her 1 week from here so that we can finalize this.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Okay, we'll know more when if she shows up by and when I say end of the day, for me, that's 4:30 because paperwork has to be filled out beforehand. Okay.
Understood.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hicks. You have a good day. Good to
Thank
see
you as well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let me go back real fast. Ms. Hernandez, were you able to get a hold of Judge Alcala or his court coordinator, Ms. Rodriguez?
I've called Lizette and left a message and also emailed her, Judge.
Okay, all right, we'll
Waiting
continue.
for that response.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
All right,
Your
Mr.
Honor.
Marufo, who's next?
Staying on page 3, Judge. In cause number 2021-0D01583, State of Texas versus Mark Samuel Franco. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Raug on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Jim Darnell for Mark Franco. We're ready, Your Honor, and good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Darnell. Good to hear you. Good to see you. Let us see. We are set for a final hearing plea deadline. Ms. Rago, do you have any announcements before I turn to Mr. Darnell?
Your Honor, I just want to add, we do have a backup trial that's set for August the 12th.
Yes, I'm seeing that. I'm actually seeing an August 11th and then the August 12th setting. I'm not sure exactly why the 2 dates 1 day apart, but I do see that. And I also see that on 7/11 of 22, a motion for continuance was filed. Did you get
Right.
did you get a copy of that, Ms. Rago?
Yes,
Ms.
Your
Rago?
Honor.
Huh?
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry, I was trying to pull it up.
That's okay. So there's a motion to continue filed for, I guess, I'm having trouble pulling it up also, Mr. Darnell. I'm assuming it is for this July setting. Is that correct?
It is, Your Honor. It's based on a vacation certificate for this week.
And if we weren't on YouTube, I would ask you where you were going on vacation, but we're on YouTube, so I will not ask you that question. Ms. Rago, what is your position on this motion for continuance?
No objection. Have a good vacation.
All right, have a wonderful
Thank
vacation.
you.
Mr. Darnell, your date though is just till August 11th/12th, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck and have fun.
Thank y'all.
Take care, bye-bye. Mr. Marufo, who's next?
Staying on page 3, bottom of page 3, Judge.
Okay,
In cause number 2021-0D02016, State of Texas versus Julian Granillo. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Raug on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Like Shawala for Mr. Granillo, we're ready, and good to see you, Judge.
good to see you, Mr. I've only always said your first name,
It's Shawala.
Shawala. So sorry, I've only ever said your first name. Nice to see you, Mr. Shawala. Good to see you. All right, we are set for a final hearing plea deadline. Let me ask Ms. Rago if she has any announcements before I go to you.
Yes, Your Honor. I submitted a dismissal this morning. The complaining witness was very adamant. She did not want to proceed, and we cannot make the case without the CW.
All right.
Oh.
Mr. Shawala.
Well, that makes it easy.
I believe that makes your life a little bit easier this morning.
We
Um,
have no objections.
All right. Well, I would not have thought you were going to, Mr. Shawala. All right. With that being said, I will sign the dismissal close to the end of the day. Okay.
Okay, thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Yeah, it's just I go back to Judge Garcia Perez's courtroom and I sign all the paperwork there. Right now, I'm in my
Gotcha.
courtroom. I'm in my
Gotcha.
courtroom.
Okay.
All right. So
Well, I
it'll be
think that's
signed
all
by
I
the end
have.
of the day. Good to see you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care. Oh, if you have nothing further with the court, correct?
That's right, Judge.
All right. You may be excused. Take care.
Thanks.
All right. Mr. Marufo, who is next?
Top of page 4, Judge.
Okay.
In cause number 2022-0D00012, State of Texas versus Crystal Lynn Guillen. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Todd Dunham on behalf of Crystal Guillen. We're ready, Your Honor.
All right. You are also set for a final hearing plea deadline. If you all will give me a moment, I'm not seeing this case on Odyssey Navigator. Just give me 1 second. Let me. Guillen, right? Ah, okay, there she is. All right. So let me go ahead and start with Ms. Rago. What do you have anything to say on this case before I turn to Mr. Dunham?
We facilitated a deal, Your Honor.
Okay.
We-
Go ahead and tell me what that deal is so I can put it down.
This was, I inherited this case. This was Ms. King's case. It was 5 DAP, and then
No,
standard terms.
it's 3. It's been reduced to 3.
Okay.
3
years,
deferred.
3 deferred. Okay.
Dismissal on counts, I forgot the numbers. It's all in the plea paperwork was sent yesterday to the court.
All right. So then will we be doing that plea this afternoon?
It's not on my calendar, but I could do that.
Let me check if we have an opening. I'm not sure. Ms. Hernandez, do we do that plea this afternoon or do we want to do it next week?
I know my client is in custody and this is a plea to probation. So if we can do it, that would be great for her.
We have a full docket this afternoon, Judge.
So next week,
I can add it for next week.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, so it will be set for a plea next week, Mr. Dunham?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Hernandez, you'll send him a setting?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, wonderful. All right, Mr. Dunham, do you have anything further with this court?
No, ma'am, I do not.
All right, good to see you. And
Good to see you, ma'am.
you are free to leave.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Farrago. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, let us go back real fast with Charlie Roberts on Richard Hall. We've already called that case before, 2020-0D04880. Mr. Roberts, I don't know what to tell you. I do feel like Judge Alcala would grant your continuance, but I need to hear it from him and we are not getting through. We have left a voicemail and an email. You're muted, so if you can unmute, thank you. And go ahead and start again from the beginning.
Yeah, Judge, I would want to point out, I don't know how this works, but we did file it before it was transferred. And when the court still had jurisdiction. So
Okay.
I don't know, understand.
Your
But-
Honor, I'd like to add to the state does not have an objection to the continuance.
All right, then. Go, let me pull up and see how old this case is before I try to make a decision here. Give me 1 second. I don't, let me see
It's pre-pandemic, Your Honor.
It's a 2020. It is a 2020. This is the first trial setting though, right? Is what I'm showing.
That's what I understand.
Let me triple check that. Let me triple check. Judges conference, judges jury trial. No, you had a jury trial setting back in May of 2021. And then technically you had another jury trial setting in January 21st of 2022. So this would actually be your third trial setting.
But those were both canceled because of the pandemic. Yeah,
Okay, well, but officially on paper, this is.
yeah,
your-
yeah.
Yeah, this is your third trial setting. Mr. Roberts, I do need to hold on for Judge Alcala. It's too much for me to.
I totally understand.
So,
Yeah.
Mr. Roberts, would you like to check back in and out in about 40, 50 minutes? I hate to keep you on camera if you don't have to be here.
Okay.
All right, so you want to check back with us in about an hour?
I'll do that.
All right, it is 9:30 now, so we'll see you about 10:30.
Yes,
All right, thank you, Mr. Roberts. We'll see you then.
thank you.
Back to Mr. Marufo. Who's next, Mr. Marufo?
Staying on page 4, Judge,
Okay,
in cause number 2021-0D02928, State of Texas versus Kim Hookendorn. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rago, on behalf of the state, stays ready, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Jose Montes for King Hogadorn. We're ready, Your Honor.
all right. You all are also set for a final hearing plea deadline. Ms. Rago, do you have any announcements before I go to Mr. Montes?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Montes, what are we doing with this case?
Your Honor, we'd like to continue the case. Ms. Hogadorn recently had a leg amputated above the knee. She's in extreme amount of pain. She's going through rehab, just barely learning to get around. We would certainly consider an offer of probation, but she's a bad candidate for TDC.
All right, I would probably suggest that any medical paperwork that you have to the effect of what you've just stated on the record as an officer of the court, that you go ahead and get that to Ms. Rago.
Yes, Your Honor,
so she
we're
can-
working on it and it should be ready in the next 7 to 10 days.
Okay, I do see though that unfortunately Ms. Hogadorn is charged with a first-degree felony.
Correct.
So I do know that does make things difficult for the state, but at least turn in that paperwork to Ms. Rago.
Your Honor,
Mr.
the offer is 2 TDC and a reduction, I assume. So we're working on it, Judge.
All right,
Yes, Your Honor.
two TDC is what I heard, 1, 2?
Yes. And we're looking for probation. The case will get resolved and this lady can go on with her life. She's 51 years old, Judge. She's got very serious drug problems and now very serious physical problems.
Right, right, I understand. Well, and to the extent I wish both parties luck on resolving this case, not just one party over the other. So,
Sure.
but Ms. Rago, how do you feel on the motion for continuance?
I'll defer the court on this, Your Honor. She seems like she's dealing with medical issues.
All right, well, then I'm going to go ahead and grant it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And actually, based on, let me go back again, it clicked me out of, Odyssey. I am showing that this is actually the first jury trial setting. So I'm going to actually give more than 1 month, Mr. Montes.
Thank you.
Okay? So Ms. Hernandez, go ahead and give a 2-month continuance
Yes, ma'am.
for the trial. And that way you can get your paperwork and you all can resume communication. I will say that I know she's had the amputation. I know the 2 is good. That's a tough one. I'm not making a comment one way or the other. Good luck to both parties. Mr. Montes, if you have anything further, do you have anything further with the court this morning?
I told Your Honor, and I request to be excused.
You may be excused. All right.
Ms. Rago, I'll email you the paperwork.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right. Mr. Marufo, who's next?
Bottom of page 4, Judge.
Mr. Horner?
Yes, ma'am. In cause number 2021-0D02293, State of Texas versus James Edward Horner. Announcement of council, please.
Kent Sutton for the state. Ready, Your Honor.
Joseph Vasquez representing Mr. Horner, and we're ready, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Horner was actually on camera a little bit ago. I don't
Yes,
know if he's still here, but he did
Yes,
make
yes,
it
yes.
appear.
I'm
Yeah.
here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. No problem, Mr. Horner. I was just letting Mr. Vasquez know that you were on camera. All
Yes,
right.
Judge.
We are set for a final hearing plea deadline. Mr. Sutton, let me start with you. Any announcements?
Your Honor, defense counsel has filed a motion for continuance that we have no objection to.
All right, let me go back to that and make sure that it's filed. Yes, I'm showing the motion to continuance was filed on 6/30/2022. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And I'm also showing that this is your first trial setting?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. The motion to continue is granted. Let me ask you one thing. I would normally go to 1 month. I'm noticing the nature of the case. Mr. Sutton, are you opposed to a 2-month continuance?
No, Your Honor, not opposed.
Okay, just because I'm seeing the nature of the case and I'm thinking that there's a lot of paperwork.
There is, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Vasquez, are you okay with the 2-month continuance?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm hoping to get it resolved in it before that, but that's fine with me.
Of course, any dismissals or pleas that get worked out between here and there can be brought to the court before that date. But meanwhile, we'll go for a trial setting in 2 months, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank
Mr.
you, Your Honor.
Vasquez, do you have anything further with this court?
No, Your Honor, may I be excused?
You may be excused. Mr. Sutton, do you have anything further on behalf of the state for this court this morning?
No, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You may also be excused.
Thank you
Gentlemen,
very
have a
much.
good day. Mr. Horner, may be free to go. Please keep in contact with your attorney. Do not disappear on anybody, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. Mr. Marufo, who's next?
On page 5, middle of page 5, Judge. In cause number 2020-0D03607, State of Texas versus Alex Olivas. Announcement of council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas.
John Williams for Alex Olivas. Judge, we're not ready on this one. I was just appointed a couple months ago. There's some real mental health issues. It looks like based on the police reports, and we're asking for a continuance.
All right. Ms. King, do you have a position on Mr. Williams's continuance request?
Your Honor, the state is not opposed.
All right. I'm going to tell you that I am showing quite a few jury trial settings, okay? So I'm not going to go 2 months, Mr. Williams. All right. I'm showing a March 2021 continuance and April 2021 continuous, not on your behalf, not on your behalf.
Yeah, that was all before me, Judge.
Right. No. And I wasn't trying to say that. I'm just saying the nature of the case. So I will grant the continuance, but I'm going to go to the 1 month. Okay. So we're looking at that August date. Okay. Oh, wait, you're brand new to the case?
Yes, brand new, Judge.
Brand new.
I just got in May.
Okay.
Your Honor, this is Francisco Macias. I hate to interrupt, but I'm on your docket and I'm ready to go to trial.
Okay, which one is your?
So you can give everybody else a continuance. I'm ready to go. And I've got all sorts of other settings in other courts.
Okay.
I need to get this off my docket too.
Okay, Mr. Macias, which one is your case?
My case is Mr. Ola Tejeros.
He's on page 9, Judge.
Thank you.
Hijo, if we're only on page 5, ¿te imaginas what it takes us to get to 9?
All right. Let me get to your case. Hold on.
It's
Hold on,
Miss King.
Hold on, Mr. Macias, because we had still called that other case. Let me finish. Okay, Mr. Williams, hold on, Mr. Macias. I'm gonna call your case. I need you to hold on. Let me finish on the record with Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, your case is going to be continued, okay? I'm going to double check with Ms. Hernandez if Judge Alyssa Perez would be okay with a 3-month continuance over kind of my 2-month continuance that I kind of stick with, okay? So let me check with Ms. Hernandez.
I'm here, Judge, and I think that's fine because of the recent appointment.
Okay, so then let's go ahead and on the record, Mr. Williams, your case will be continued for 3 months, okay?
I feel like he's muted, Judge. I mean, he's closed.
I think he froze. I think Mr. John Williams froze.
Okay.
All right, so Mr. John Williams froze. I don't think, but Mr. Marufo, if he calls back, let him know that we have adjourned on his case and he's getting a 3-month continuance, okay? All right.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Macias, let me say this. Before I have Mr. Marufo call the case, yours is set at 10:30, okay? Did you have anything prior to this one on 10:30?
No, I'm not set at 10:30. I'm set at 10:30 to pull back his warrant. I'm set for a final judge's conference. The judge told me she had 2 cases in front of me that were civil, and if not, I was up first.
Okay,
Ivan Cruz Perez, not at 10:30, at 9 o'clock. I've been here for half an hour waiting for you to call it.
all right, Mr. Macias, and I have been consistently calling cases. I have not had a break. I have not, and I
I
started
know
exactly
you've been jumping all over, jumping.
Okay,
from
Mr.
debate
Macias,
to
I know that you think you're set at 9, but on my docket that I'm showing that we're following your set at 10:30. I'm gonna call your case in just 1 second, Mr. Macias. Let me have Mr. Marufo turn to it and let me make sure that the state knows that we are moving to this case. Go ahead, Mr. Marufo.
Cause number 2021-030-173.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Start over, please, Mr. Marufo.
Yes, ma'am. In cause number 2021-030-1738, State of Texas versus Ivan Cruz Olaf Villarreal. Announcement of council, please.
Well, King for the state of Texas.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Macias.
Francisco F. Macias for Ivan Cruz Olaf Perez Villarreal. Your Honor, he is here in my office. I can drag him in from the from my waiting room if you need to see him. Because he didn't call in like he was supposed to.
Mr. Macias, I will
Challenge.
take your word as an officer of the court that he is in your office.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. With that being said, we are set for the final hearing plea deadline. Ms. King, do you have any announcements before I go to Mr. Macias?
Your Honor, it's just to recap for what Mr. Macias did mention a couple of minutes ago. When we spoke to Judge Perez, I believe last week, she mentioned 2 civil cases are ahead of his case. I believe she was referring to the July 14 and July 15 jury trial, not for today's docket. However, there has been always a recommendation of 2 years probated for 2 years straight probation. And there is a motion, there's a KPS out for his client's failure to appear.
Oh, there's a KPS out.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, Mr. Macias. Were you
Well,
aware of the? Huh?
Yes, of course I was. He's technology challenged. He doesn't know how to go through Zoom. And that's when they put out the warrant. That's why he's here in my office. That's why, I told him, if you don't know how to get through Zoom, come to my office. We'll put you on Zoom with the judge. But he didn't show up, or he showed up late and he didn't come. But I'm ready on the 14th to go to trial, Judge.
Your Honor, if I may, the KPS was issued last time because it was his client failure to appear in person, and that was scheduled for June 7th. It was not a hearing over Zoom. It was supposed to be in person.
Okay.
And that's what the 10:30 hearing is for, Judge. It's to withdraw the warrant. But I have his case here, on my settings from the 2/10, saying that today, the 12th of February 2000, I'm at 9 o'clock for a final hearing plea deadline. I'm set for today at 9. I've got it right here. I can show it to you.
All right.
I'll put it right up on the camera if you want to see it.
And Mr. Macias, I'm not going to be entering into that thing. I can show you right up here where my docket says 10:30, okay?
And
I'm
I
not
can
gonna
show you
enter into
where my
that.
settings say 9 o'clock.
We're going to have to agree to disagree. I'm showing 10:30. I took you as a courtesy and I brought you up early. Let me say this.
I appreciate that.
Before I decide on the motion to recall warrant, I do need to speak to Mr. Pegueros about why he missed back in June. So,
All right.
so go
Ms.
ahead and bring him
Lieberman.
forward, please.
Ven para acá. Párate aquí donde la juez te puede ver y explícale a ella por qué no llegaste a tiempo el día 7. Can you speak English?
En español, por favor.
La juez entiende español, explícale.
Pues es que tengo muchos problemas. Mi papá se me está muriendo.
Right.
Y
This is the problem. Erica is not going to be able to take down a single word that's being said in Spanish. Mr. Macias, I can do a somewhat of a translation if you don't object.
I can translate for you.
Okay, well, then
If
you
you
go ahead
don't-
and you translate your client. And then I will speak in English so that Miss Erica can get my questions and you can translate to him both parts. So go ahead and start with
Okay.
the part that he said as to why he did not appear on June 7th, 2022 for what was documented as an in-person hearing.
Ok, en el 7 de junio de este año no llegaste a tiempo para allá. La juez no quiere saber todos tus otros problemas, quiere saber por qué no llegaste a tiempo.
porque tuve que llevar a mi papá de emergencia.
Well, I didn't go because I had to take my father to emergency.
Llegué un poquito tarde y
And I got there a little bit late, and you know the court was already over.
Did you speak to anybody when you arrived at the court late?
¿Hablaste con alguien en la corte cuando llegaste tarde?
Sí.
Yes.
Who did you speak to?
¿Con quién hablaste en la corte?
No sé el nombre, pero era una persona.
I don't know the name, but it was a person
Güero, como de ojos claros.
sort of light skin with clear eyes, but he was Latino.
But you didn't get a name, did you, Mr. Pegueros?
Pero señor Pegueros, ¿usted no hará un nombre?
No.
No.
Let me go ahead and tell you that you were set to be here on the 7th. It was
Déjame
48
decirte,
hours.
Tenías que estar ahí el día 7. Go on, Judge.
It was 48 hours before we signed the warrant for you.
Era
You had
48 horas después, antes que firmamos la orden de aprehensión.
You had 48 hours to come in and show us that you were available.
Tenías 48 horas para llegar a la corte, enseñar que todavía estabas para llegar.
And also you were supposed to check in with the bailiff yesterday.
Y también ayer tenías que llegar con la corte y llegar con el hombre que le dicen el bailiff y decir que ibas a estar aquí ahora.
Mr. Pegueros, this is a serious case, okay? The taking care of your father is important, but taking care of this case is even more important, okay?
Señor Pegueros, este es un caso importante. Claro que atendiendo a tu papá también es importante, pero este caso es importante. Go ahead, Judge.
Because you're there with Mr. Macias, I am going to go ahead and recall the warrant because you're coming up for trial this week. Okay?
Porque estás aquí ahora con el señor Macías en su oficina.
This is a
Y-
kindness that I'm showing to you, Mr. Pegueros.
Pegueros.
Go ahead.
Voy a retirar la orden de aprehensión porque estás aquí y tu juicio es esta semana.
All right. Ms. King, I'm sure that you are objecting to that and I am noting your objection. Well, let me make sure. Ms. King, are you objecting to my action? That is fine.
Sure, that's fine, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Macias, I don't know if you are actually going to be the trial going because there are still 2 civil cases ahead of this. And the judge will make that decision when she returns. But I'm going to go ahead and not have your client be booked in county for the next 48 hours, okay?
Ok, la
All right.
juez, por buena gente, no te va a meter en la cárcel por 48 horas esperando tu juicio. Y nada más es porque es buena gente de la mujer.
Gracias.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good luck on it being a trial setting. And then if not, either way, he has to be there for that trial setting, whether he goes or not. And then from there, they will give him new settings and he has to appear at each of those.
Do we get jury radar sheets?
That I don't know. Ms. Hernandez will let you know on that. Mr. Marufo, do you know if the civil case is still going?
Yes, Judge, both, we have two.
Two.
They're still going.
Yeah, Mr. Macias, I think you're not going to be bumping to civil, but talk to Judge Bettis when she returns, okay?
All right, Judge. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Good luck, Mr. Macias.
Thank
All right,
you.
take care. All right,
Thank
Mr. Marufo, who's next?
Going back to page 5, Judge. Middle of page 5.
Mhm.
In cause number 2021-0D00709, State of Texas versus Angel Villapando. Announcement of council, please.
Preston Munson for the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Okay.
I think we lost Mr. Ortiz. He was here.
And he had been there the whole time too.
Yes.
Dang it. Dang it. Is that him coming
Judge,
back?
I can let him know that we're back on, if you just want to give me 1 second.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
It's been a while since I've seen you, Mr. Munson, huh?
It has.
I think it was when you first started, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's been a while. All right. All right, let's see. Not seeing him pop up.
He's coming on now, Judge.
All right. Mr. Munson, is Mr. Villapando a co-defendant to anybody?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Ortiz, are you available now?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. And we saw you. We saw that you were there. So it must have just been a bad connection that took you out.
I'm back. I'm back.
Yes. All right. Well, the case was officially called already. So we're at announcement of counsel. Mr. Munson has announced. So if you'll go ahead and make the official announcement.
And who is this on, Judge?
On Villapando. Angel
Yes, Your Honor.
Villapando.
Yes, Your Honor. Ruben Ortiz on behalf of Mr. Villapando.
All right. Set for a final hearing plea deadline. Where are we at with this case? Mr. Munson, go ahead and start.
Your Honor, we are still in the negotiating process. I think we're getting closer. But at this point, we would ask for additional time. There's still some additional discovery that Mr. Ortiz was seeking to analyze the fingerprints on a baggie that was that contained some of the narcotics.
All right. And I'm showing that he did file a motion for continuance back on June 13th of 2022. And so if you're still wishing that motion to continuance to be granted, Mr. Ortiz, let me know and I'll go ahead and grant it at this point.
I think we lost him.
I think we lost him. No, he came back. Mr. Ortiz, you're kind of freezing. Yeah, you're freezing and not. You still urging your motion to continue?
I mean, it's really a joint motion, Judge, because we're still negotiating. And I really need to look at that evidence. I think you might have referenced that I did file a motion to review that. We really need to physically see that evidence, Your Honor.
All right.
I know it's been kind of rough trying to get those, whatever it's cellophane or plastic. We gotta look at the plastic, Your Honor. It's very important in this case.
All right. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and grant the continuance. It was filed. It didn't say joint. That's why I was saying it was your motion for continuance. I don't even know if you got a signature line for him to sign that he was unopposed. I didn't see a signature line. Let me triple check. Yeah, there wasn't a signature line for him, his consent on that. So that's why I made it only your motion.
Got it. Okay, Judge.
That's why. Yeah.
That's okay.
No problem. So the motion for continuance is officially granted. I'm going to go ahead and give you all a month. I'm hoping
I
that
think we're gonna
negotiate.
need, we're probably gonna need more than a month, Judge, because we're gonna have to get our schedules together to get that. I'm not sure how.
I was
kind of
wondering
physically
about,
see that evidence.
I was wondering about giving you more than a month. My concern is, if you'll give me 1 second, not only
Yes.
is it a 2021 case, but my concern is that you've had a few trial settings set in here between.
Got it, okay.
There was one set on 12/10 of 21. So let me see, what month are we? We're month of July, June, August, September. Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll give you 2 months, Mr. Ortiz.
Thank
I
you,
do
Judge.
understand your issue. My concern though is it is a 2021 case, and so it is going to be one of her older ones.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
All right, so good luck on resolving it for both parties. All right, Mr.
Thank
Ortiz,
you,
do you have
Judge.
anything further with this court? Yes, you
No,
do.
I do, Your Honor. I have 2 other ones, plus I'm gonna be covering 2 for Teresa Caballero, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Caballero's office is there though, but okay, that's fine. She's the office is
Right.
on.
Right. So I think Ms. Caballero always has her paralegal on the
Okay.
Zooms to take notes and such, and I agreed to go ahead and cover her hearings
All
this
right.
morning.
Okay, so then let me, Mr. Munson, do you have anything further with the court?
I do not. May I be excused?
You may be excused.
All right. Thank you, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Marufo, are we bumping a lot to go keep with Mr. Ortiz?
No, man, we'll continue and finish up Mr. Ortiz, and then we'll go to Ms. Caballero's cases.
All right, let's take care of that. Let's go ahead and go on to Lizeth Corona. I believe she's got 4 cases.
Yes, ma'am. In cause number 2020-0D00443 and 2021-0D01212 and 2019-0D05734 and 2020-0D00442, State of Texas versus Lizeth Fernanda Corona. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Ruben Ortiz on behalf of Ms. Corona.
All right, my understanding is we are set for a final judges conference. I guess what keeps happening is she gets, this is an assumption. If I'm misstating it, someone can correct me. It looks like she keeps picking up cases, which means you all never reach your final deadline, plea deadline. Is that a safe assumption?
She went on a picking up cases stage, Your Honor, and I think that is ceased finally. Thank goodness. I think she had her issues a couple of years ago, or I can't remember the last time she went through an arrest, Your Honor.
All right.
But
So with that,
we have all the cases now. Really, it's a matter of negotiating. It's all it is, Your Honor. I mean, I don't expect any of these to go to trial, Judge.
all right. So with that being said, Ms. Rago, what is the rec on these 4 cases?
10 AP, Your Honor, and no contact with the CWs in all of the cases.
Okay.
Well,
any
well, that's going to
condition?
be kind of rough, Ms. Rago, because if you say all of them, perhaps I agree with one of them, because on the other 2 or 3, I have non-process on them, and one of them is, I want to say that the CW is her mom, and the mom and her have a great relationship. Another CW is her current boyfriend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, can you send me an email on that? And depending on what it is, we can have no offensive contact.
Right. And then I'm not sure who I was negotiating. Ms. Rago, have you had these cases for a long time? I don't recall.
This was Ms. King's, and then I inherited this case.
Got it. Okay, Judge. So that's the thing. I haven't really spoken to Ms. Rago on this. I've been speaking to somebody else on this case, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Ruben, and looking at the case, it says 10 AP on 2019.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's on the unlawful and that's something that I wanted to talk to somebody about. I mean, we could make
right.
We're willing to negotiate on one. I don't think that's the right one, though. I think there's another one that we could work on.
Yeah, of course. Just give us a call. I'll sit down with Sam and we'll go through the cases. That way we're not holding up the docket, but we'll certainly look at everything, and we'll look at the 10 AP. But we'll work on. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me tell you all, just so that we're all on the same page. I'm showing a final hearing plea deadline of August 2nd of 2022 with a jury trial in August 5th of 2022. All right. So if you all are going to start talking, let's do that soon. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
all right. All right, Mr. Ortiz, are we concluded with Ms. Corona?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so then let us go to the cases that you are covering. Did you have any more of your own cases right now?
He has
I think
one
I have
more on
an-
page 7, Judge. He has one more on page 7, Judge.
He does or she does?
He does.
He does. Okay, let's continue with your cases, Mr. Ortiz. Page
Yes, Your Honor.
7, go ahead and call it on Mr. Moreno, Mr. Marufo.
In cause number 2020-0D03218, State of Texas versus Elogio Moreno. Announcement of council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas.
Ruben Ortiz on Mr. Moreno.
All right, this one is set for a final hearing slash plea deadline. Ms. King, do you have anything that you want to announce before I go to Mr. Ortiz?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
All right, Mr. Ortiz, how are we proceeding with this case?
Well, I spoke to Ms. King the other day, and I think she said she needed more time on this case. I'm not sure if that's the case anymore.
Yes, Your Honor, we did. And I guess maybe there's a miscommunication, but we were going to do a joint. I can go ahead and draft the motion for continuance.
All right, is that a joint motion for continuance, Mr.?
Your Honor,
Ortiz?
I have no objection, Your Honor. If you want to call it joint or you want to call it theirs and me not object, it makes no difference to me.
All right, well then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna save her some time. It's being on the record right now. She's making an oral motion for continuance. There is no objection by Mr. Ortiz, so I'm gonna go ahead and grant that motion for continuance. I'm going to see as to how many settings you've had before I figure out what we're looking at.
I think I had asked for one continuance before, Judge, when King and I were talking about it the other day.
Yeah, no, this is a 2020 case.
Right.
I'll go ahead and give it 2 months based on the nature of the case, but I'm not going to go much further. I'm not going to go 3 months. So I'll give you 2 months. Okay. I hope you all continue to talk on this case. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. So Ms. King, you don't have to file that. It's going down as a record on here. And so it's officially a joint motion for continuance. Okay. With that said, Mr. Ortiz, you are done with your cases. Let us go ahead and handle the ones that you are covering for.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Marufo, you want to call those now?
Going back to page 1, Judge.
Okay.
In cause number 2021-0D03105 and 2021-0D03104, State of Texas versus Abudsark Butami. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Raug on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Ruben Ortiz standing in for Teresa Caballero regarding Mr. Abudsark.
And I'm showing that a motion for continuance was filed on 7/8/22 by, let me see, by the state. The state filed a motion for continuance. Ms.
Yes, Your
Rago,
Honor.
are you still urging that motion for continuance?
Yes, Your Honor. There was videos that were not handed over. We got them on a flash drive and emailed Ms. Caballero's office to have them provided. And so it's not timely for discovery. So we're requesting a continuance.
All right. Mr. Ortiz, what is your position on behalf of Ms. Caballero?
Right. I don't think Ms. Caballero has an objection to that, Your Honor.
All right. So then
Because
that will.
she's still reviewing those 98 video files, Your Honor.
All right. So then this case will go ahead and be continued. It is state's motion, but agreed to by defense. No opposition by defense. So that'll be continued. And I'm looking to see. I'll go ahead and I'll give this one a 3 month. This will go to 3 months based on the nature of the case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Ortiz, who else are you covering for, Ms. Caballero?
And she also has Joshua Abraham Munoz.
On page 8, Judge.
Give me 1 second. Okay, go ahead and call that case.
In cause number 2020-0D05170, State of Texas versus Joshua Abraham Munoz. Announcement of council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas.
Ruben Ortiz standing in for Teresa Caballero on Joshua Abraham Munoz.
Okay, I need you all to give me 1 second. I need to make sure that I don't know this individual. The name is sounding very familiar. Give me 1 second. I need to see if I can find a photo. Mr. Marufo, if you're able to direct me on Odyssey Navigator where I can find that photo faster, that is fine. If I know this individual, I have to not hear this issue.
Judge, and honestly, if you go to defendant demographics,
Okay,
you'll find the jail listing.
I'm trying to get there. Let me see. For some reason, it's not. Let me, okay, I'm getting there. Give me 1 second. Okay, the address is not looking. Let me. Does anyone know what high school Mr. Munoz went to?
Let me
not
see if
finding a photo.
someone's.
Huh?
Let me see if there's somebody at Ms. Caballero's office.
I just need to make
We're
sure I
looking,
can.
Your Honor.
Huh?
We're looking. Give me just a second.
All
Your
right.
Honor, I believe it was Devoncy High School, Devoncy.
It was at Da Vinci Charter School.
Okay, all right, then I do not know Mr. Munoz. I can go ahead and proceed. Thank you very much for your patience on that. It was the name that was familiar, the date of birth not, but the name was familiar. I do not know this individual. So proceeding, it is set for a status conference. My understanding is we are in need of future settings. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor. He has recently been found competent, Your Honor.
Okay, so we need to get those settings pretty soon. Any comment by Ms. King?
No, Your Honor, we just need to know when defense would like to come in and view the material. Last time it was rescheduled from November 2020, so.
All right. Does Ms. Caballero's office have a date that is available for her to come view the evidence?
Between the 25th and the 26th of this month, if you have anything available, if possible.
Can you just send me an email?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a 2020 case. So Ms. Hernandez, can we give them settings for within 2 months? Competency was an issue. I don't want to wait too long.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I'll
nature-
prepare those and send them over.
Okay, all right, so you all are looking at about a 2-month window, okay?
Okay.
With viewing evidence to occur either July 25th or 26th. All right? All right, Mr.
Sounds
Ortiz,
great. Thank you.
anything further, Mr. Ortiz, on your behalf?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Mr. Ortiz, then you are excused if you have nothing further.
Thank you, Your
Caballero
Honor.
office is also free if there's nothing further from them.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. I'll take care.
Take care. Nice to see everybody.
Good
Bye-bye.
to see everybody. All right, Mr. Marufo, who's next?
Back on page 5, Judge, middle of page 5,
Okay, go ahead.
in cause number 2020-0D02431, State of Texas versus Kimberly Wallace. Announcement of council, please.
King for the state of Texas.
Good morning, Your Honor. Rafael Salas for Kimberly Wallace. Ready, Your Honor?
Good morning, Mr. Salas. Are you outside of the county lines?
No, I'm here. I'm
You're
back.
here. Oh, you're back. Okay. All right. Well, happy belated anniversary.
Thank you.
All right. So with that being said, I'm showing that we are set for a final hearing plea deadline. Ms. King, do you have any announcements before I go to Mr. Salas?
Yes, Your Honor. I did update portal this morning. So finally got to a restitution amount, and that is $87. So it will be that restitution amount with the 80 hours community service for a dismissal.
What was that amount, Ms. King?
$87.
Oh,
And community service, correct, is what I heard?
Yes, Your Honor, 80 hours.
All right. Mr. Salas, that should be attainable soon, correct?
well, yes, my client is working. We've been going back and forth on restitution, Your Honor. So I guess if you could just give us some time because she is working to try and do those community service hours.
All right. Well, do you want to speak to Ms. King about maybe the possibility of doing a donation instead of some of the community service to the food bank? And what is the other authorized by the probation, Ms. King?
I believe it's the El Paso's Fighting Hunger. I don't know. I know there's maybe the dog shelter, but I don't know which one.
Okay. So,
but I'm not opposed to a donation in lieu, if you want to send me an email.
all right.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you 1 month. So I think the donation would be faster and save her some time.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
I'll get it with Ms. King, Your Honor.
All right. Y'all will be set in 1 month then. Good luck to both of you.
Thank
Mr.
you, Your Honor.
Salas, do you have anything further with us this morning?
No, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You may be excused. All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Marufo, who is next?
Top of page 9, Judge.
All right. Is that going to be Rivera?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
In cause number 2020-0D0-6122, State of Texas versus Dylan Andrew Rivera. Announcement of council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas.
Omar Carmona on behalf of Dylan Rivera. Ready, Your Honor?
Good morning, Mr. Carmona. It's been a while since I've seen you on the camera.
It has been, Judge. How are you?
Good, good. I'm showing that we're set for a final hearing plea deadline. Ms. King, do you have any announcements before I go to Mr. Carmona?
Yes, Your Honor. So I did reply back to Mr. Carmona. We were speaking about the DWI second, if you can go to to reduce to a first, and the state is not opposed to that counter.
And Your Honor, my client is in Odessa. He's working in the fields. If the state could forward me the plea papers, he's coming in tomorrow morning for an in-person meeting, so he'll sign the plea papers, Your Honor, and I'll send him back to the court.
All right, so then we're setting this for a plea for next week, Ms. Hernandez. With that, let me tell you all, I'm not showing the DWI second. Obviously, I'm assuming that is a misdemeanor and in a misdemeanor court.
It's in County Court 4, Your Honor.
All right, just making sure. All right, so then we'll go ahead and set it for a plea next week. Does that work for both parties calendar wise?
I'll be in South Carolina, but there are other lawyers in here that could do it, Your Honor.
All right, wonderful. We'll settle this next week then. All right, Mr. Carmona, do you have anything further with the court today?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your patience. I did notice you were there for a while. Take
May I
care.
be excused?
You may
Thank
be
you.
excused. All right, Mr. Marufo, who's next?
Back on page 6, bottom of page 6, Judge.
Okay, who are we on?
Arellano, Judge. In
Okay.
cause number 2020-0D0-2963, State of Texas versus Juan Arellano. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rock on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Monique Ladere is for defense. Defense is ready, Your Honor.
All right, I'm showing a final hearing plea deadline. Ms. Rago, any announcements before I go to Ms. Velarde?
Yes, Your Honor. We facilitated a deal. It's 2AP, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Velarde, are you agreeing to that to deferred or to AP?
AP.
AP.
We are, Your Honor. Ms. Rago did provide me the documentation this morning. We will provide that to my client. The holdup on this case had been that my client is currently on probation in Colorado. We just needed to make sure that this wouldn't affect the probation case over there, and it looks like everything is good.
All right, so then we'll go ahead and set it for a plea next week.
Next week, next week, I believe I'm out of town next week, Judge.
All right.
Oh, wait, yes.
Wait.
Perfect.
Hold on, which way?
Let me double check. I'm out of town somewhere. When is the 20th? Is that, yes, next week I'm out a week. 2 weeks would be perfect, Judge.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. And I guess for the record, we should say Reyes and Reyes are not related. I mean, this Reyes and that Reyes are not related. So just for the record, so we avoid any conflict issues.
No
All right.
problem.
All right, I will go ahead and give you 2 weeks since you will be out of town. So I'm assuming what you're telling me is you're gonna be out of town 18 through
The
22?
20, yes,
All right, so then we'll be set somewhere between the week of 25 through 29.
that's perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
May I be excused, ma'am?
If you have nothing further with the court, you may be excused.
Thank you so much. Again,
Thank
y'all
you.
have a good one.
You too. Mr. Marufo, who's next?
Back on page 3, middle of page 3, Judge.
Okay,
In cause number 2020-0D01307, State of Texas versus Raimundo Estrada II. Announcement of council, please.
Robert Bond for the state, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
And Myrna Pages from Mr. Raimundo Estrada. Ready, Your Honor, and good morning.
good morning, Ms. Pajes. How are you?
Good, thank you, Judge.
Good. I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Bond. Welcome.
No, I don't believe so. Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. All right, I'm showing that we're set for a final hearing plea deadline. Mr. Bond, do you have anything to say before I turn to Ms. Pajes?
Let me just make sure that Ms. Podges is aware, and she may already be. There were 20 interviews attached to this case that, for reasons beyond my control, did not get provided to the defense until I think it was last Friday. I think I had mentioned that to Ms. Podges before. I think we actually have an agreement, but since that issue came up, obviously she can't say, for certain that she agrees until she's able to review those interviews.
All right.
That is correct. And if Mr. Bond, you can say my last name is Pages, not Podges.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. But that is correct, Judge. I did speak with Mr. Bond on July 7th, to be exact, and he did indicate that additional discovery had not been turned over to us. However, we are very close to reaching an agreement. I do believe that we will have an agreement in place. I just need some time to go through those additional interviews.
All right. I'm sorry, Ms. Pajes, is it okay that I say Pajes?
I actually say Pages, Judge.
You do say Pages. I didn't know
I do
that.
say Pages. Yes, I do say Pages just to prevent, mispronunciation.
I'm so sorry. I did not know that.
Okay. It's okay, Judge. I've always had issues since I was in kinder with my last name, but I do say Pages, and that's what I prefer.
Okay. All right. Okay. I will learn to say that, Mrs. Pages. Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you, Mrs. Pages. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move this. I'm trying to see, you all have had trial settings before, but now we have discovery that's barely being turned over. I'm showing that your last trial setting was January of 2022. So she gave you 6 months and then the evidence is barely being turned over. I'm not inclined to give 6 months. And in fact, to be honest, I think I'm going to keep it at 3 months. And it's only because it sounds like it's a whole lot of evidence. 3 months is kind of where I go to the extreme. And so I'll go ahead and Ms. Hernandez, if you'll go ahead and take them to the month of October, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hernandez. All right, Ms. Pages, you will get your settings. Mr. Bond, please make sure that in addition to those 20 interviews, that if there's anything else missing, that you get that to her.
I certainly will, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, because this case is a 2020 case, and for interviews to barely be turned over,
I understand they were actually submitted to the area of our office that does that in January, and for some reason or other, they got misplaced or some such. And I started inquiring about the case myself when I inherited it. They finally ran it down, and then they were having technical difficulties, I understand, and we finally managed to figure a way to provide them.
all right. Well, I'm going to give you 3 months. I'm not giving you 6. And the 3 is being generous because that is a lot of evidence. Ms. Pages, you can make a decision in October how you feel about wanting to proceed, okay?
Thank you so much, Judge. I do appreciate 3 months. If I go through everything and we can resolve this case, I do believe that we will resolve it. I will request the paperwork ahead of time and get this one closed down.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. All right, thank you, Ms. Pages. Do you have anything further with us?
I do have some other cases, Judge, but I think they're set. I want to say, I don't know.
You have 2 more right now.
Okay, if the court wishes to call them, I'm ready, Judge.
Okay, give me 1 second. Mr. Bond, do you have anything further with this court?
I do not, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You may be excused. All right,
Thank you.
Ms. Pages, who else do you have?
I do have, oh, sorry, Mr. Modifor.
It's okay, Ms. Pages. They're on page 6, middle of, towards the bottom.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Marufo.
In cause number 2019-0D05076, State of Texas versus Cheryl Guevara. Announcement of counsel, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
And Myrna Pages from Ms. Cheryl Guevara, ready, Your Honor.
All right, I'm showing that this is a final judges conference. I'm showing that we're not actually set until August for jury trial. Where are we, Ms. Rago?
Your Honor, currently the rec is reduction to a misdemeanor, 20 months adult probation.
Straight?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. On the assault on the security officer, you're reducing it to a straight assault, class A?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Class A.
Okay. All right. Ms. Pages, had you received that rec?
No, Judge, the last rec that I received from Ms. King was a letter from EHN for dismissal. My client does have some mental health issues and was undergoing a psychotic episode at the time. I did email Ms. Rocco this morning as well as Mr. Salcedo so that they can consider something other than that. I have been trying to get that letter for them from EHN, but it's been really, really hard getting records from EHN for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on. But I did provide the name of her caseworker to Ms. Rago so she can confirm. So that's where we are at this point.
All right. Well, you all have some time. You have till August 2nd, where your final hearing plea deadline. So continue engaging in conversation. And then on August 2nd, you can let us know which way you all are headed for sure.
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. Ms. Pages, you still have somebody, one more?
I do. I have Ms. Sarah Martinez, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Marufo, will you go ahead and call Ms. Martinez's case?
Yes, Judge. In cause number 2020-0D04196, State of Texas versus Sara Silva Martinez. Announcement of counsel, please.
Well, King for the state of Texas.
And Myrna Pages from Ms. Sarah Martinez. Ready, Your Honor?
All right. I'm showing that we are set for a final judges conference on this one. Ms. King, do you have a rec for Ms. Pages?
Yes, Your Honor. It's going to be a class A, a reduced charge, and it's going to be 15 months deferred. And I went ahead and updated portal as well.
All right. I'm making the assumption that the class A is going to be an assault.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And is that going to have a family violence finding?
Yes, it will have family violence findings. And I believe last time the discussion was also to reduce I apologize, to reduce the fine. It was $500 fine. We can probate $400.
All right. Ms. Pages, what says you on behalf of your client?
I'm trying to get into portal, Judge. If this is a new rec, which I believe it is, I would need to communicate with Ms. Martinez on that.
Okay.
To see what she wants to do.
Not a problem, because you do have time. You all are set for a final hearing plea deadline on August 2nd, 2022. If you all want, you can start negotiating from here till there. And if you want, you can get plea paperwork before that and set it for that day. Okay.
Okay, and I'm just checking portal. It looks like that rec was in there from 2021. Is that correct, Ms. King?
That was the old one, but if you want to just refresh really quickly, you should see my new one that I just conveyed.
Okay, all right.
We can give you a second, Ms. Pages, not a problem.
There it is. Okay, so I will go ahead and communicate that to Ms. Martinez, and then I will get back with Ms. King, Judge.
All right. Like I said, you have until August 2nd, 2022 with a trial set of August 5th, 2022. All right.
Okay.
So you both have time. All right. Ms. Pages, does that conclude your matters with the court this morning?
For this morning, yes, Judge. I do have some stuff this afternoon.
We'll see you in the afternoon, Ms. Pages. You are free to leave at this point.
Thank you so much, Judge. Have a good day.
You too. Mr. Marufo, what's next?
I believe